Hey, there was a kid. I went ziplining one time with my son in Cancun.
Really?
Yes. We went in Cancun, and there was a barracuda.
No.
Yes, that was in the water, and they were like, "Oh, he's friendly." I was like,
What if you fall off the zip line and
"That's
you...
what I'm saying." And then when you come to the bottom of the zip line, you actually came to this little place. You had to climb down into the water.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Where the barracuda's at.
right. He's a wild animal, just in case y'all didn't know. But anyway, there is a kid that went ziplining in Costa Rica. He was in a rainforest.
And he's cruising along, and then all of a sudden it's like, stop, because there's a sloth on the zip line. Now, here's the crazy thing. He was number 8 that went down. The 7 that went before him, he was like 30 seconds later. So sometime in that 30-second period, a slow-moving sloth got on the zip line.
I think it's incredible. I mean, this kid's face, because, we have video that you can watch, video replays at hisradio.com. But, I mean, it's wild. His face is just like looking in the camera like, can you believe this?
Yeah.
There's a sloth.
Yeah, and the sloth's going like, what you doing? What's up with you?
Right, the sloth does look up, sort of like, I was climbing here, and he does sort of mosey along. He's not as slow as I would have expected him to be.
Well, mosey, that's a good word for it. And then the boys to the tour, because the tour guide's right behind him. He goes, what do we do? And the tour guide says, we wait. I mean.
What are you supposed to do?
He's a sloth.
Yeah,
so.
but to see something like that, unexpected, first of all, and have an encounter with a wild animal. Thankfully,
yes,
it was a sloth and not, I guess cheetahs don't zip line, but
no barracuda on the zip line there.
Exactly. But what I would love to know, what is your animal encounter? And the wilder the better. That would be awesome. So 800-447-7234.
Rob and Liz,
His morning crew.
I am surprised how many people have an animal encounter story.
Really?
Well, I mean, a wild animal encounter. I do know I was on the way to Sam's Club one weekend, and there was an old lady, older woman, older woman, fighting with a peacock.
No.
Yes.
Really?
Outside of her car. The peacock was in her yard, and she had, I think it was an umbrella, as I remember back, and she was kind of trying to get him away from her car so she could get in. And there was another older woman that was standing there. Get him.
Oh, my gosh.
So, wow. But you had...
My wife and I, we were hiking up in Flat Rock. There's Carl Sandburg's home up there, and we got up to the top of the mountain there, and there was a bear in a tree, Mama Bear. And Mama Bear was about 30 yards from us, and she was looking at us, and we were looking at her, and we're like, we won't come no closer, we promise, because there was baby bear cubs right at the base of the tree. But we snapped a great picture, then moved on, and it was just cool.
That's the thing. You don't go after it. Caitlin was also telling us about she's head of the Fun Patrol.
Okay.
By the way, Caitlin. But you're telling us about an encounter while you were kayaking.
Oh, yes. I was kayaking with my friend. We had 2 different kayaks, and all of a sudden he just started taking off, and I was like, why? I'm not trying to race. This is at the end of our, travel. I was like, what is he doing? So once we finally got to shore, I was like, why did you just take off like that? That was so lonely. And so he said, I didn't want to freak you out, but there was an alligator following us. I was like,
I've kayaked before. I've never had an alligator. I had dolphin. Never. Quite different experience, I would think. And then Jake, morning show producer, says, what now? You were in Costa Rica, what?
Yeah, so I was in Costa Rica one time, and where we were staying at, there were howler monkeys.
I don't even know what that is.
Howler monkeys are just, monkeys that howl. But we would go outside.
Okay.
We would go outside, and we would just, hoo, hoo. And you couldn't see them, but you could hear them in the treetops. Just back. It was quite scary. Why
are those dogs in the trees? That's what that sounds like. Oh my goodness. All right, if you have an animal encounter you want to share, 800-447-7234, call or text.
Rob and Liz,
His morning crew.
So Kid, he's in Costa Rica. He's on a zip line. Kid's like 7 or 8 years old, time of his life. And he's going down the zip line. There's a sloth. Like he doesn't actually run into the sloth, but there's a sloth on his zip line. And the sloth's just kind of like,
chilling,
dude.
I mean, chilling.
Yeah, this is my zip line. I was zip lining first.
That's right. And he was just hanging. They had to wait about 15 minutes or so. And so that was like this crazy. He'll never forget.
Never.
That wild animal experience. Nikki, what about you?
So I was on a missions trip when I was, I think, 13. And we were swimming in the oceans in the Bahamas. And a big black thing was coming towards us, and it freaked us out. It was stingrays.
Oh.
And we wind up going back into the water, and then the stingrays swam through our legs, and we got to catch the stingrays in the water.
But that's freaky when you come on it and you don't even know it's there.
Absolutely, yeah. We were just swimming around. A big black thing came, and we jumped out the water thinking we were going to get eaten.
Okay, so
then we wound up just having a really cool experience.
Nikki, I need you to recreate the sounds that you made when you saw the stingrays.
It's not possible.
Oh, come on. Yes, it is. Okay, just let it out.
I got my kid in the car. I don't need to freak him out.
Okay, all right. We'll do it for you. How about that?
Yes, perfect.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
It's been Wild Kingdom this morning. We've heard everything from peacocks to howler monkeys to alligators.
And our encounters, like you ran across a bear. I don't know what I would do if I ran across a bear in nature.
Well, that was the second time. First time it happened, we were going along a road, and there was a couple of mama and a couple of cubs up, on the side of the road, when we were hiking. Yeah. And so we just keep walking by. My wife's looking, and my wife goes, they're coming this way. But I think what happened, we startled them, and the bear kind of slid down our way on the leaves. And so I'm not looking. I'm going straight ahead, and my wife goes, what are you saying? What are you saying? And finally I said, I'm praying we don't get eaten by a bear.
Right? That could put a whole different outcome for your hike that day. You remember that mountain lion?
Yes.
The kid that was I don't even know where that was, but kid is out hiking by himself.
Yeah.
You don't hike by yourself, I don't think.
Yeah,
and Mama Mountain Lion was not having it. And the way she came at him while he was on that trail.
And he kept getting her back, and I was like breaking out in a sweat, getting nervous.
Like very anxious, getting higher and higher in your seat.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness, he's going to be lunch.
Oh, Rich, what happened with you, buddy?
Well, this is about the scary animal story. Not so much scary for me, but for my neighbors. We live in the North Georgia mountains, and I was chasing a bear off of our porch with my truck. And as I was chasing the bear and honking the horn, the bear ran off and ran around down the driveway to where my neighbor was just getting out of his truck and opened the door, and they both ran into each other. And the bear was startled, and the neighbor was startled, and fortunately the bear was scared enough to veer off and go away.
They literally ran into each other, like made contact?
Oh, no, fortunately they made contact, but got pretty dang close. Yeah, I felt like I could have lost a neighbor that day in many ways.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
We are a ministry. His radio is a ministry, and one facet of that, one part of that, is our prayer line. And you can access our prayer line. I mean, there are volunteers, hundreds of volunteers, that give up, an hour or two every single week to make sure that they're at the other end of a phone call, at the other end of a text, and that number is 866-987-PRAY, because prayer is so important. It's vital. It is vital in your walk, your daily walk with God. And it may be you've never, ever once in your life said a prayer before, and someone at the other end of that prayer line can walk you through that. And like I say, that's just part of the ministry here at His Radio. And sometimes we'll get a call here in the studio because someone is in just desperate need at that very second to have someone pray as well.
Hey, Lisa, what's happening?
I just need some extra prayers, please.
What's going on?
My son is in the trauma unit and ICU in Florida, and I'm just not sure that he's going to make it.
What's going on? What happened?
He was on one of those one wheels, and he fell off of it and hit his head.
A unicycle?
And he hit it pretty hard. It's like a hoverboard, except for it's only one wheel.
Okay.
What's his name, Lisa?
His name is Robert.
All right, I'm going to pray for Robert, okay? Lord, in your name, in the name of Jesus, we just pray for Robert right now, God. He's in ICU, and Lord, prognosis is not good. But Lord, we just look to you and we trust you, and we just pray, God, for a complete and full recovery for Robert. And Lord, not only that, for Mom, it's so far away. God, we can hear the love, the concern, the worry in her voice. God, you just comfort her and give her your peace, Lord, to pass us all understanding. Lord, right now, be with Lisa and give her your peace. And for Robert, we pray healing in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Lisa, keep us updated, okay? Let us know how he is.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, guys.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
So we had Mom, Lisa, that called just a few minutes ago and asked for prayer for her son. And her son is in the trauma unit in Florida, had a pretty bad accident, and the outlook's not good. And so, Brian, of course, and we prayed for her, just a story that breaks your heart, and she has hope. She believes that the prognosis can change, and she's a praying mama, which is amazing, and we thank her for her call. But Susan also wanted to chime in on that conversation.
I wanted to say two things really quick. The lady that just called in about her son, they gave my husband 18 months at the outset when my twins were newborn, and he started having stroke. And God kept him here. My twins were almost 15 years old when he passed away. So God still does miracles every single day.
He absolutely does. Thank you so much, Susan, for calling in. And God has, he performs miracles every single day. And I hear this from time to time that God is not the same God, that was around with Moses and Noah and all the, these huge miracles and these stories. And God is still the same. Yesterday, today, tomorrow, we just have to open our minds and our hearts to him and to see that when a baby's born, when these miracles happen every single day.
And I love when you share your story and maybe you're burdened about something, someone out there, you're connecting with some. We're a community, we're a family. You can see that. And so there was Lisa that called in, and then Susan said, look, I know where you've been. I've been through this myself. I'm praying for you as well. And we come together, and that's why we could not do this without you.
We could not. And that's why this is so important. We're a listener-supported radio station, and this ministry is so important. It ministered to me years before I ever was part of his morning crew, a couple of years ago. The songs, the message, and everything that I would hear, and the kids singing the songs, in the back seat, it makes a difference when you have hope that is in Jesus and you don't have that hope.
Yeah.
And it helps you make it through when you can lean on his strength. If you would like to support his radio and this ministry, it's so easy to do. You can do that by going online, hisradio.com.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
It seems like Legos will seem to multiply over and over and over. I mean, you start out with a pack of 50, and it's like before you know it's 150. And
1,000 and 2,000. I have two sons that loved Legos. I don't remember my daughter being into them so much, but when the boys came along, they shared a bedroom. They were 17 months apart.
Oh, no.
And, oh, my goodness. So in the middle of the night, if one was younger and they would, cry or want a drink of water or whatever it was, and you would kind of try to tiptoe so you didn't wake the other one up, and you step on a Lego. It's awful. The Lego company a couple of years ago came out with some socks.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, they had like the lid so you could put the socks on so you could protect your feet as you stepped on a Lego.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Somebody came up with a list of the worst Legos to step on.
Okay.
So there's a brick that's 1 by 2. I'm just going to give you the top 3.
Okay.
So it's a 1 inch by 2 inch brick. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I can see that. Rock bearing. There's a rock-bearing Lego?
Yeah, no wonder that's painful.
I would think.
I mean, digging that out of the ball. I mean, it's just I can see it just stuck into your foot, and you're like,
yes,
yanking it out.
Yeah, and then the top one is the little brick that they use, I guess, to make legs. And for whatever reason, it's bigger and it's sharper that it will just bring you to your knees in the middle of the night.
Oh my gosh!
I know. So they did come out with the Lego that hurts least, and it's a sticker sheet. So I like.
You mean just a.
The stickers that you peel the face of Batman off, or Han Solo or whatever, and you put it on your Lego. Yeah, that doesn't hurt so much. Maybe a paper cut in the middle of the night, but
yeah, but you know where I'm thinking. You hit it in the middle of the night, and your feet go flying out from under you, and you just go bouncing
on the Legos on your high knee.
Oh,
yeah, not good.
Man.
Not good.
Rob and Liz,
his morning crew.
Now, are you a dog or cat person?
Oh, dog.
Okay.
Dog person for sure.
My wife and I, we've had cats over the years, so been more of cat people, I guess. So,
yeah.
So
Do they have any quirks? Your cats?
Yeah. I mean, it's like they're your owner. I mean, it's just like,
You're there to serve them.
I am there. Yes, I'm there to serve you. And they just get that smug look as you clean out the litter box. And so
it is time for you to pet me now.
I'll play with you when I want to. Okay.
So Casper is this cat, and Casper is so cute. Saw this cat on social media.
Okay.
He is a little anxious. He's kind of an anxious kitty, and so he found something that helps him deal with anxiety. I know you can get like a thunder shirt for dogs.
Yeah.
I don't know if they sell them for cats. I guess so, but I don't have cats, so I don't know. But
yeah, like a cat's going to let you put that on him.
Yeah, and then take a bath. But Casper loves socks.
Yeah.
And when he's feeling a little anxious, it's not the same sock. It seems to be the same type of sock, like what do they call those, crew socks, where they're real short?
Yeah. Those little short crew, like athletic socks.
Yeah.
And he likes those, but different colors. And especially when Casper's kind of monitoring the bird situation in the house and around his neighborhood.
He's watching the birds outside, and he's chewing on that sock like, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. But, it's funny that he chooses the athletic sock, the little short one, because can you imagine him dragging around a knee sock all the time? Or one of those great big fuzzy socks that you wear in the middle of winter.
Or those with the treads on the bottom of them.
The no slip. He's like, I'm a no slip kitty, so here we go.
That's right. Anxious kitty, sweet little kid. There you go. Security blanket for Casper.
Rob and Liz,
his morning crew.
If I got this kind of invitation, oh my goodness, I would be so excited.
I know you would be. Lunch with the Queen.
Oh my goodness.
We're talking like Queen Elizabeth. What happened a few years ago, Alan Johnson was like the health secretary. And so he had a lunch with the Queen. And so everything was great. And then the cheese course came around and he was loving the cheese. And then there was some biscuits. He reached over and he had a biscuit and he just had a great time. And afterwards he was talking with a colleague. He said, man, what a great meal that was. What a great time. And his colleague said, it was a fantastic time. He says, I really like the cheese and those dark biscuits. There was something about them. They were really good. And his colleague said, those were the dog biscuits. Those were for the corgis. He ate dog biscuits.
Why were they on the same, like a charcuterie board with the cheese course? Why? That's so. My dad, his sisters, they had a family of 7 kids, and he wasn't the baby, but he was the youngest boy, and so his sisters, to play a prank, made him a sandwich out of dog food.
Oh no!
But the kicker of it is he ate it, like he ate the whole thing.
Yeah,
and then said, "Woo, that was good."
How about another sandwich?
Make me another one.
Rob and Liz,
his morning crew.
Christina, she went to visit her mom and dad. Now, this was right before the pandemic. She went to visit them. They live in Florida.
Okay. Oh, okay. Florida.
They live in a retirement community.
Oh, no, dude. Okay.
And they got one of the apartments that had an extra room so that when she came to visit, she had a place to stay. So she's staying there. I don't know. Maybe she was there for a couple of weeks on her extended vacation. And while she's there, pandemic hits.
Oh, no. So
she couldn't go anywhere.
So she's in a retirement village?
She, at 30 years old, and I think she may have even celebrated her 30th birthday while she was there with mom and dad. And she said, at first it was game on. She was playing bingo.
Okay.
She was going to see...
What's that one thing? Shuffleboard?
Shuffleboard.
Okay.
She was going to play or see Elvis impersonator.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
I know, because they had all these theme nights
at
the retirement village.
Okay.
So she said it was a lot of fun at first, but after a while she started missing talking to people her own age. She got a lot of unsolicited advice, she said. But there are things that she learned. So you want to know what she learned?
Yeah, I want to,
okay.
Because this will be interesting, because I love this because somebody says every time an older person passes away, there's a library of knowledge that goes away with them.
it.
So what was some of
So one of the things that she learned, she said, doctors are your friend.
Okay.
Okay. So, they need to kind of know what you're going through at all times. She said, don't wait to be retired to do all the things that retired people do. Take that long vacation or do the traveling that you've always wanted to. So we go to bed very early at my house because I get up at 3:45, and we eat dinner extremely early.
Yeah.
She said, early bird, 5 p.m., way too early to be eating dinner. I was like, but it's 4:30?
Yeah, that's right. I almost know somebody that would get one of those places at 4:45 because they could get the lunch price. They get the lunch price, and and at 5 they put the steaks out.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Okay, so I have to say this. We knew we were going to talk about the Utah Jazz this morning. And so Ninja, our morning show producer, she was talking about Utah Jazz, and she was showing me pictures of jazz, music being played.
Jazz musicians.
Right. And what?
Why is that?
And then so she texted me, and what did you ask me? What did you ask me, Ninja?
I asked if Utah Jazz is a basketball team.
What did you think it was?
I thought it was like a jazz group, like a band.
Well,
I love you so much.
I do. I love her too. That bless her heart. Utah Jazz actually moved from New Orleans. They were New Orleans Jazz for years.
No,
but,
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No,
because that makes sense. New Orleans Jazz. And so when they moved, they just kept the nickname. So Utah's.
That's weird. Okay.
I hate I think when a team moves, this is a whole I think they should change the nickname. I like that as well. But they've decided they want to help out the Utah Jazz Foundation, the folks in Ukraine. So they're supporting Airbnb, and they're providing refugees a place to stay. In fact, over 32,000 nights in an Airbnb, which is twice what the max of their arena would be. And so 32,000 nights they're paying for people as they're fleeing out of the Ukraine, and they just want to help out, and they're encouraging others to get involved and to give and help out. In fact, Airbnb is announcing some free short-term housing for 100,000 refugees.
New Airbnb and Verbo, as they call it now, we're doing some things like that. And then people are renting out homes in Ukraine or apartments or condos to just make sure that people that are leaving, that are having to leave their country, have some income, which is amazing. So that the Utah Jazz is doing that. I mean, 32,000 nights.
I love that.
I do too.
They're paying for that. That's twice what their arena would be. And they said community and connection has never been more important than what it is right now.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Ninja's our morning show producer, right? I have very, very good news for you, Ninja. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so they are getting married. She's getting married in, is it 12 days?
Yes, it is.
Okay, 12 days, and then they're going on their honeymoon.
I've not heard anything about this.
They're going to Canada.
I mean, the countdown. I'm sorry. I have. I'm just joking.
Do what? We've been counting down and carrying banners all day. So you've been a little worried about your honeymoon, is that right?
Yeah, because they're a little, strict and worried with all the, COVID things.
Yeah, all the testing. They're going to stop testing. I know. Yeah, in Canada, they are going to start April 1st. They are going to you don't have to take a test before.
Oh my goodness, it's just in time.
It really is. Back in August, I guess they opened, to travelers and all of that. But yeah, so now, no testing.
No test? Okay.
If you're going to Canada.
I heard there is a pop test, though. There's just a pop quiz when you go to Canada. Are you ready?
Pop quiz.
You ready?
Better study up.
You better study
You
up.
got to sing the Canadian national anthem, so get ready there, Ninja.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
God is a faithful God. It's His Morning Crew with Rob and Liz.
Yes, He is. And that is the ministry of His radio, is sharing that He is faithful, sharing that love, hope, and encouragement that is, and peace. I mean, there's so many things that are only found in Jesus,
Joy,
and that
hope,
will,
encouragement.
Right. It will sustain you. And so that's what this ministry is all about. Now, we do have a fundraiser, which is called Friendraiser.
How many days are in a year?
365.
So we take 8 days. 4 days in the spring, 4 days in the fall to raise the operational budget for His radio.
Yeah, and you may not even know that we're listener supported, but we really do rely on not only your prayers and your support and your calls, but your financial gifts as well to keep this ministry going. The prayer line, everything that you hear right here on His radio, you are coming alongside and you're saying, I believe in that ministry so much, I'm going to take a part and hand in hand. And you know what we're doing for our first day giveaway this year?
You tell me, because each and every year, we have just great first day giveaways. So that's everybody that gets involved leading up to Friendraiser, everybody that calls on day one. All right. A vacay your way.
A vacay your way. It's a vacation that you're going to decide where you go, who you take, what you do. But somebody else, a travel agent, is going to come up with all the details. So you can just say,
I was going to ask you,
Brian, I just want to go to, I want to go to Orange Beach, Alabama, because that's where we go on vacation.
That's a real thing? I just thought you pulled that out of the blue.
No, because that's where we go. Love it. Beach. We're beach people. So that's where I want to go.
Orange Beach, Alabama.
Yes. It's right over the Florida line.
Okay.
Come an hour and a half from Destin, whatever.
Okay.
But it's white sands, it's the whole thing.
Okay.
So maybe you're a beach person and that's where you want to go. You just tell us where you want to go. Got $3,000 to plan this thing with, but a travel agent is going to do it for you.
So you don't have to sweat the details till you get on the beach, and then you'll be sweating them once you get on the beach.
That's right,
So,
yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, all the information, you can check it out. Go to hisradio.com or text GIVE to 800-447-7234.